This is from the top of Mount Bailey, generally looking west. The mountains there, fairly in the center, I believe are near the Kenosha Pass. Don't know the names though. If I lean a little bit to the right here, I believe that's the top of Mount Logan. And a little bit farther, just before you get to the cliffs of the top of Mount Bailey, I think that could be Rosalie, but I do need confirmation. Here's the tower on top of Mount Bailey. It is private property, so we ask folks to stay away. Let me see if I can get in a little closer here for better views. I'd like to learn the identity of that one. I believe that's Mount Logan. Getting a little bit farther over here, if anybody can identify those. Now we're looking at the range, I think it's called the Platte River Range. Of course, the valley down there. And if I get down low enough here, we get into the town. There's 285 coming down into Bailey, and there's the town of Bailey. And that tiny little hill right there is Mount Moreau. We have trail on there. But looking up in the peaks here, there's several of these peaks that are in the 11,000 range. If anybody can identify those, that would be great. I'm going to pan to the left. I'm looking just about south now. And one picture was taken was right in that sharp curve in the road down in the valley. It's about 2 miles from here. And if we get a little farther over, I believe that this is Windy Peak. If anybody can confirm that. And then any of these peaks over here, there's one that's coming up now that sometimes, depending on what angle you're looking at it from, it looks pretty steep on the sides. But if anybody can identify that, that would be great. And I'm going to back out just a little bit to see a little bit wider view. And there's some of the burn area there right in the center of the video now from High Meadow Fire, I believe. So I'm going to move a little bit that direction on these peaks and see if we can see anything looking towards the east, which is approximately looking east. Oh, it's a little bit harder to see, but over here, if I zoom in, and here is the castle at Wellington Lake. It's not hitting it very well, so it's kind of in the shadows, but let me try again when I get to that other peak. Drops down 50 feet. Looks like there's a ledge 50 feet down. Keep on with that. Here I'm able to get out of the wind a little bit. So there's the pine tree you can see on the right side there, the castle at Wellington Lake is right in there. So other peaks I'm trying to identify would be the point, that small point right there, that larger mound right there. I believe that Pikes Peak is somewhere behind one of these ridges, and that's why we don't see it. Now we're almost looking straight east now. If anybody has an idea of that ridge just to the right of the pine there, you can kind of see some of the burn areas from the high meadow. And right in the center here there's a point that's fairly recognizable. It may be 2 points. Looks like a saddle, and to me it sometimes, if anybody has an idea on that. Heading over here towards the northeast, a shorter hill here, Dick Mountain, has that observatory from one of the residents in Berlin from years ago. And maybe just covered up by the trees there, but looking really close towards Lone Peak there. If anyone has any good ways to identify these peaks, that would be great. Put down what minute it was when you were looking at it and what it is. Thank you.